Let's go see what Bubba's up to, man. What's going on, Bub?
Oh, you caught me doing the nasty part.
Right.
That nobody wants to talk about. They got a shop. I have to clean it up.
What you working on, man?
Well, a lot's changed since you've seen the Bronco last.
Yep.
We finished here on the frame rails. We've set the body back on. We got the firewall out. The wheel wells out. We've built the motor mount, transmission mount. And now we're working on this 9-inch board. We need to take it down, clean it up. So I'm bring home, narrow it up to the right width for this little Bronco, and get it in a roller so we can finish the firewall, do the wheel wells, get the body off of it, finish boxing the frame, and it'll be time for us to start putting the roll cage in that.
Yeah, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. But
Still
at some point we got the heads over there for the 460 that I got to port them, and she's gonna need a little bit of airflow.
Yeah.
Be interesting when we get to see how fast this old beast will go.
Right.
All right, well, let's get this thing loaded up. Go down, cleaned up.
Sounds good. All right, off to town.
Yep. Now, I know you guys are asking yourselves, why do I watch this guy? I ain't never seen no magazine article he ever wrote. Well, that's because I've never wrote for a magazine. But what I am, I'm an ASE master truck technician, heavy duty and medium truck technician. I'm a master ASE automotive technician. I grew up in a body shop. I do welding and fabricating. And that's what I do. Dave here.
Yeah, I'm a master carpenter, a little bit of a jack of all trades. I've spent 20 years building houses. And I'm really just too cheap to pay anybody else to do anything for me, so I just kind of learned how to do it all myself. So that's kind of what I am.
Well, we'll get in town, get this cleaned up. Thanks, guys. Being that the rim we're using in the Bronco here is out of a Econoline van, the center of the pumpkin is actually shifted over 2 inches from center because of everything in the van is offset. And the yoke is set off 1 inch off center from it. What the rear end that we have, the 9-inch it is 68 1/8 inches from hub face to hub face. Now, what we need is 51 1/2 inches hub face to hub face. Now, from hub face back to the flange, it is 2 7/8. So we take out 5 3/4 off the house for the housing width. That gives us our housing width that we need of 45 3/4. Now, being it's a van, from the flange to the center of the differential on the right side is 30 1/4. We need it to be 22 7/8. So we need to take off 7 3/8 of an inch. On the left side, it is 32 5/8. We need it to be 22 7/8 again, so we have to take out 9 3/4 out of this tube. All right, that will set off our differential off 1 inch to the right side, which is perfectly fine for us because in the Bronco, in order to have clearance for the steering box, we have set the motor and the transmission off 1 inch to the right side. That'll put it perfectly in line with the pinion. All right, well, let's get to work. Dave's cleaning up the axles so we can mark them. Once they're cleaned up, we'll mark them.
Dave might
Dave might
be.
be.
Dave might be.
Hey Dave, you want to cut off wheel? Yeah, Dave, you want to cut off wheel?
Come on. I don't want. There we go. Maybe enough times, they're great.
Yeah, and you're gonna finish cleaning this up. We'll be right back after he's got it clean, and then we'll show you how to mark it out.
Alright guys, so what we did, we made us a straight line edge all the way across the rear end. That way when we do cut this, we keep these flanges clocked in the right spot as far as orientation of the pumpkin itself. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut to the inside of these lines. That's gonna take it, and then we'll grind back into these lines. That's gonna make it to where we're taking out our 9 3/4 and our 7 3/8 on that side over there. But right now we gotta get back to work because, you know, talking about it ain't gonna get it done. Just popped your breaker. At least I hope so. At least I hope so.
Well, let's see. Did he pop the breaker? The magic question. Did he pop my breaker?
Hook and chop valve only used 3 times.
I feel like I can't hear it.
Well, I just flipped every breaker. Oh, the reset on the,
up there.
it's a reset on the drop cord.
Yep.
Drop, we may want to use a better cord for that.
Yep. That's what it was. Whew.
You want a better cord for that?
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, here. Nope, it ain't over here. It's underneath there in a tote. We're back in business. And you're good, Dave.
Alright guys, we got it all cut down. Now we're gonna go back and we're gonna grind them back to these respective lines. We'll grind them back just to the line on all of these pieces. Then we will line these lines back up, get it all tacked together. Well, we'll chamfer our edges, then we'll get it tacked back together, and then we'll finish weld it. But I think for today, that's probably about all we're gonna get done. So I guess I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
All right, guys, it's the next day. Hey, can you do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe? It's the only way we can make this thing grow. And I'm gonna get to work on this rear end. Get to grinding it down. And then bevel the edges so we can get to welding. I'll get to work. Be right back with you. Well, I think this one's a little bit too long. I think I'll change off the cutting wheel and we'll cut it back some. The cutting wheel on it, cut it back some. That'll give us a little closer to the line. Now I will make a suggestion. If you're going to get into doing much fab work, build you a good set of metal sawhorses. Something that ain't going to catch fire, you can grind on, beat on, hammer on. Later you'll be seeing us do some body work on a pickup truck bed. And we'll have them sitting on these. These things are handy for everything. You don't want to take the line off. What I'm doing is just trying to cut it back to the line. I don't want to cut the line. I just want to cut to the line. And when I get the other part pieces, I'll cut them to the line. And that's how we make sure that we're the exact length we need to be. Get this ground off. All right, guys. Now that we have these cut and ground back to the lines, now what we'll be doing is we'll be cutting a 45-degree bevel all the way around these and around these. And then we'll tack them up. And, well, I'll be back when I get them ground off. How's that? All right, we have them cut and beveled. And it's absolutely, or it's got a 45, it's about a 45, which is good for us to get a gap. You're going to ask yourself, well, what kind of fancy jig does he have to do this? There you go. That's a fancy jig. So I'm going to get back at this. Once I get the jig set in place, I'll show you. Be right back. And there it is. That's the jig. Yeah. It's nothing fancy. It'll be straight enough, it won't wear bearings. It'll be strong enough, it'll hold up to the power I want to put to it. And honestly, part of the reason that I wanted to do this and start making videos is I want to show what can be done out of a small shop with some basic tools. I want to show what could be done. You know, yeah, I could call Mosier and order a rear end if it was in my budget, which it's not, which I'm sure it's not in everybody out there's budget either. But I can cut down this one and make it work. I could call and order a set of heads Or I can port these dove heads, put bigger valves in them, make them work. Yeah. We'll have some interesting stuff coming. I'll be porting these heads. I got a truck that I'll be bringing in to do body work and paint for a friend of mine. And we'll be back building the Bronco at some point. I got a old gull wing back here that I want to build. I've had it for a while and I started on a long time ago. Yeah, don't really need the bike, but I come in a trade and I decided I wanted to build it. All right, well, I'm gonna get ready to weld this thing. First thing we're going to do is tack this in 3 places. Top, front tack. And then we'll take the angle iron off of it, we'll roll it over and we'll tack it in the 4th place on the other side. And then we'll be ready to actually do some welding on it. It's tacked, and look, there's 4 tacks on it. It's lined up. Get the glare off that. The line's right on. No warp, no nothing else. Alright, I'll weld this one up. Now I will say this is easier with 2 people. But Dave ain't here tonight, so I'll do it the way I got to. All right, guys, we got her welded up. It's finished. And that side's welded, the other side is welded and ground off. That's where my spring perches are going to sit, so I got to grind it off. Now what we need to do is I'll have to call Mosier, order a set of axles. These axles are 33 1/8 on a van. The axles are the same size on both sides. So I take that 33 1/8. I got to subtract the 7 3/8 on the right side, which gives me 25 3/4. I got to subtract the 9 3/4 off the left side, which gives me 23 3/8. And have them send those with the correct bolt pattern of 5 on 4 1/2. So now I get the fun of cleaning up the mess. Tomorrow night I'll start porting on these heads. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, please. Comment, tell me what you think. What I need to do right, what I'm doing right, what I need to do different. Thank you very much. You have a good night, guys.